The cave was discovered in 1950 by a couple of local boys that were cavers in the area, and they liked to look for Indian artifacts and explore for caves. And there was always a spring that came out of the side of the hill where a cave should have been, and they found a way to dig in behind the rocks, and they plopped down into a belly crawl in a stream passage and went about 250 feet in there, and then popped up into a big trunk passage that was just beautifully decorated with formations. It was quite a discovery. Unfortunately, they didn't own the property, and the landowner who tried to commercialize the cave and did commercialize it back in the 50s, the commercialization didn't last because they didn't own all the property above the cave. So the cave was closed for 55 years, and it was just reopened a year ago.
I want to show you guys how Kenneth Childress saw the cave when he first came in here in 1950 with his lantern.
Speleothems are the name of secondary formations that form in a cave. Groundwater that comes from the form of rain, as the raindrops fall through the air, it picks up CO2 from the atmosphere, and that makes a form of acid called carbonic acid. It's strictly carbonated water. It's the same thing that you find in Coke. Now, that particular acid will dissolve the calcium out of limestone. And over the years, as the water soaks down through the rock and dissolves the calcium away, when it reaches an air-filled passage, it gives up some of the CO2, and it can't hold the minerals in solution anymore, so it redeposits the mineral as the formations in the cave. And it's a very slow process. It takes approximately 100 years for 1 cubic centimeter, about the size of a sugar cube, to form the formations in the cave. Cub Run Cave is a horizontal stream cave, and what that means is there is a stream that's carving out the passage. So what we do is we see a lot of the evidence where water has enlarged the passage. The tour route is about a half-mile long. The average dimensions of the passage are about 30 by 40. At some places it's about 25 feet high. Mostly it's that size through the whole thing. The stream is visible in some places. We're going downstream as we go this way, so we'll get closer and closer to the stream till we get to the lower entrance, which is a spring resurgence for the cave. It's actually called Otter Spring. And along the way, we'll see a lot of places where water has dripped into the cave and made curtains of formations. We've got a lot of solitary formations everywhere you look. So that's what makes this a unique cave, is because it's a very active cave, it's a very young cave, and it has a lot of new formations and some older ones too. We've got a nice bridge in there where it overlooks some rapids in the stream. Sounds like a waterfall. We've got a very large room that has a lot of sandstone breakdown from a layer of rock up above us, which has made a very unique pile of rocks. We've got a rainbow area where minerals have come from different directions. While the water is dissolving through the rock in the cave, it's picked up impurities along with the calcium, and it gives you different colors. We have whites, yellows, oranges, and grays in the formations in certain areas. We have a lot of pure white calcite. We have some big stalagmites. We have a lot of little soda straws, which are special. We've got a very clear pool that's about 4 or 5 feet deep. It's one of the signature places in the cave. And we've also got the reverse column. A column is a formation that forms when a stalactite on the ceiling grows longer and longer, and it also is forming a stalagmite below it that's getting taller and taller, and when they finally grow together, it's called a column. Now we have a thing we call a reverse column because it's a stalactite that grew very large, broke off the ceiling, fell straight down, and then a stalagmite grew on the back side of it. And so it actually, there's a stalactite and a stalagmite touching, but they're at the opposite ends that you normally find them. We have tour guides that work at the college and are students and are well versed in the geology of the area, and we've gone through them and worked with them and showed them the highlights of the cave and how to get a cave. So we have some pretty excellent tour guides.
We'll head back out this way, and I know you guys may think you've seen everything there is to see, but you can't. I've been doing this for a little over a year, and I find something new every time I walk into the cave.
Every cave is unique. I've been to a lot of different caves, and there's no comparison. One cave does not look like another, so each time it's a unique event. The formations that grow in the cave, there are so many things that have to be just right for them to form. The water flow, the rock above it, the minerals in the rock, the path that the water takes to get here, and then the natural development once it reaches the cave. Each and every one of them is one of a kind that you'll never see anywhere else. It's a treasure for the community. It's a natural resource of Hart County. The cave is not something that everybody has in their backyard, and there's not as many nice caves to look at as you might think on the planet. And you have to travel a great distance for a lot of them. One of the advantages we have here is that people that come to the Mammoth Cave area come to see caves. And this is a very nice cave to come and see while you're in the area. And so we're happy to be able to show it and protect it and make it available for generations in the future.